Hi, my name is Caitlin O'Connell. I'm a student here at the University of South Florida, and my major is management with a concentration in human resources. Today, I'm going to be analyzing and looking at the data in the Tableau assignment. So I'm going to open that first. Okay, so the first requirement was in Excel just to clean the data, make sure we had no errors, which we did. There was a couple typos, so we just cleared that up before we started in here. Then I uploaded it into Tableau, and then we got started on the requirements within Tableau. So first we did sum of sales by state. So we had different states and what the total was for each insurance type, all put together into one, and so it was just the number of sales by state regardless of what kind of insurance it was. And we can see that it tends to be higher in more populated places like New York and New Jersey and those kinds of things. Then we moved on to our next requirement. We did average sales per state, which you pretty much see about the same trends. We still have the same front runners like New York, New Jersey, DC, things like that, where we saw pretty much the same trends where the sum of sales and the average of sales are pretty much going in the same direction. And then we moved on to requirement D for requirement 2, which we did the count of sales per state. We can see it shifts a little bit. We have some different states at the top with higher numbers. So we can see places like South Dakota and Oregon, even though we still got New Jersey up there. We have a little bit of a different pattern going on here. Okay, and then here we moved on to sum of sales by region. So rather than it just being by state, like in the first couple of requirements, we have it by region instead. And this just kind of groups things together in like a broader way if you want to look at more of the big picture of things. So we can see here the Northeast is above 800,000, or 8 million, sorry. If we can see the Southeast is trailing not too far behind, and so on and so forth with the West, North Central, New England. So here we have the front runners for who sold, for salesperson who sold the most in each region as far as sum of sales. So we can still see that Northeast is going relatively strong here, but we're mainly in the West and North Central area with salespeople like Peter, Kelly, Mario, and Nicole, and we see these numbers being higher in the sum for salespeople because these are the places where sum of sales of states on their own, in average of sales of states, were also high. So we're going to see that same trend where the sum of sales for salespeople is higher because that's where those kinds of states were. Then we're going to move on to requirement 5, where we see this more broken down into each insurance type. So we can see we have professional, auto, disability, life, etc. So we can see it's categorized by region again, and this just more so breaks down the numbers and the sum for each different type of insurance category. We can see overall what kind is more popular. We have professional being the most popular, or the highest selling across the board, usually followed by auto, home, and life, or disability, and then life. Pretty much across the board, this tends to be exactly that order for greatest to least for sales. We're always seeing professional as the highest sales and life as the lowest. And for our final requirement, we just kind of put it a little bit fancier, made it look all nice so we could see visually really how much this affected different areas and what kind of sales were in what kind of places. You can really see it's concentrated right there. Okay, thank you so much for watching.